Well, hello and welcome back to the farm. It got me in the end. Yes, I have that C virus, and I have to say, I feel pretty rough. But it doesn't stop farm work. I've still got to come and feed everybody. I do feel a little bit better in the fresh air. It's definitely helping my tight lungs. So let's get on with the farm chores. Let's check on JJ and Eve first. I don't think we've got any babies yet. She looks quite content. Morning, you two. How's your poops? So JJ's still a bit poorly, you can see. He's basically doing cow pats. So we need to clean up this, don't we? And then you are just ridiculous. It's kind of scary how big she is now. I've wormed him. His Famacha score isn't too bad, but I thought I'll just worm him anyway. I might treat him for coxy, even though it's normally only seen in kids. But if there's another health problem, then coxy can also get a hold. And actually, perhaps I've been feeding him wrong. I suddenly thought this morning after I gave him his pellets, perhaps he should only be having hay. Because the pellets probably aren't helping his rumen, so maybe I should just give him hay. He's still weeing, which is good. He's still pooping, he's still getting up, he's still munching and stuff, so I'm not too worried. But obviously, whenever you have a sick animal, you do worry, because you can't help it. This is my cardboard pile. All of this is to go into the no-dig garden. Hello. But I don't think we're going to be doing that today, when I haven't got a lot of energy. Well, folks, it's the next day. I started to feel so lousy that I had to go home. The good news is JJ is looking so much better. I took his temperature and he had a slightly high temperature, so I threw some antibiotics into him as well. And I also treated him for coxy. Now, coxy normally only gets lambs and kids when they're young, but if an older goat gets a bit stressed, it can allow the coxy to take over a little bit. So he's been wormed, he's had coxy, he's had antibiotics, and he's looking a lot better. He even stood up on the bars this morning to greet me, and his poo, fingers crossed, looks a bit firmer. Now, while I'm not a huge proponent of just using antibiotics ad lib, because I like to do things as natural as possible, when it comes to animal welfare, there's no question. You give them medication. And it's worked. So maybe he would have been like this anyway, but I've had such an issue with losing goats, I was not about to even test it. And now he looks so much better. Meanwhile, Eve is still pregnant. Now, the biologist in me, and maybe you might know the answer to this, but the biologist in me wants to know, is trying to work out her conception date. So up until the summer, JJ ran with her. They were a nice little pair running around the farm together, quite happy in each other's company. And then about mid-July, I can't remember the exact date, he lost interest. Now, I'm assuming that's because he had a sniff of her and the hormones changed in her urine to say, I am now pregnant, I'm not fertile. So my question is this: how long would it take for the pee to change, the hormones to change in the pee? Would it be a week? Would it be 5 days? Would it be a couple of days? Because that would be able to really hone in her due date. I think it was like the 18th of July or something that he left her. So I think I worked out her latest due date could be the 14th of December. So still a week. But say urine doesn't change, the hormones don't change in the urine for 5 days. Well, that would be the 14th minus 5 days. So that would be the 9th. So if any of you budding biologists, hormonologists know or have an idea, please let me know in the comments below, because I'd just be really interested. Now, this is the first time that I've kind of been properly ill since we moved to the farm, and it's got me thinking about how hard it can be. Because as you know, I don't live on site. If I lived on site, you could have a cup of tea, you could wait till you feel a bit better, come out, potter, and do little things bit by bit. But when you've got to come up to the farm, then you kind of need to do everything. So you've got to get yourself up, feeling good enough to drive, and then come to the farm. Now I do have the wonderful office, however in this weather it's really nothing more than a glorified shed. It is slightly insulated and we have electric, so I could run power, so I could run a heater just to warm it up, and I have got the option to make a cup of tea, but I can't stay in there. I mean, the thought of running electricity or running a heater in that cabin to keep it warm constantly, the cost would be astronomical because, as I say, it's not that well insulated, so the heat would just be going straight out through the roof. As many of you know, Sard's actually still away. He's due back in a couple of weeks just before Christmas. But even if he was here, he can't drive. So that wouldn't actually be any help at all. Oh, goodness. So yeah, running a farm when you're sick is pretty tough. I guess I'm just enforcing some rules on myself. The first of which is wrap up warm. Because I'm somebody that doesn't really think about that. I'm quite a hot-blooded person anyway. I sweat a lot. So even when it's quite cold, I'm out in a vest. That's not good when you're feeling lousy. So doubled up on socks and trousers and tops today to try and stay warm just while I'm here. The second is just don't overdo it, even if you feel okay, because I don't know how the rest of you that might have had this C virus feel, but yesterday morning when I was here, initially I felt okay, but then the more and more stuff I did, the worse I felt, and then yesterday afternoon it was horrible. So making sure that if I feel okay, I don't go and do anything still, because I'm also one of those people that feels like if I haven't done stuff, I haven't been productive, and if I haven't been productive, I start to feel mentally lousy. Thanks. Thank you. Come on, look, grass. This is Juno. She hates people. Can you tell? I'm going to step back. I'm still locking the sheep away at night. I had issues with them escaping. So though I'm now confident that I have blocked all the exits and they can't get off the farm, it's just nice to know that they're shut away at night. I did put a camera in here so I could check. And then sheep being sheep, chewed through the damn wire. Now that's a sign of, well, that's something about productivity, because in the past I would have then spent ages trying to correct that. No, Jeffrey, do your minor things, then go home. Good morning. Hello. Mind your head. I suppose a major plus is also that it's winter, or technically autumn, but soon to be winter, and there's not a huge amount to do. Now if you're a farmer or a homesteader, smallholder, even a backyard farmer, you know that's a complete lie, because there's always things to do, from fencing, pond clearing, moving animals around, sorting polytunnels out, infrastructure. There's always stuff to do, but it can be delayed for a few days while you get well. So that's a bonus. Oh, well, that's it. Done my hour. Everything's fed, everything's watered. I'm going home to get under a blanket on the couch with a big cup of tea. Stay safe, keep well, and I'll see you next time.